All right, let's get this guy episode going right here. All right, let me get my cigar lit. Currently lighting up a Liga Privada T52 by Drew Estate. Very good cigar. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. Doing that, and then I'm also having a little bit of Blanton's bourbon. Very good as well. Let me get a little sip of that. Oh, yep. Yeah, that's good. That's good for the voice. Yeah, that and the cigar as well. Just wanted to do this guy episode right.
Welcome to Publitarian Podcast.
And happy weekend, everybody. Of course, you may not be listening to this on the weekend, but this is when I'm recording it, so that's what we're going to be calling it. This is Ronald Johnson, Publitarian, coming at you with episode number 8, The Real War on Men. Men, I told you I was coming for you. And now it's time. So, what have we got, Mr. Announcer Guy? Tell us what's up.
This is an episode about men. Men-related things. Men topics. For real men. There was a war. And it's a war against manhood. And against being a real man. And we are going to break it down for you, you whiny bitches.
Guys, I told you I was coming for you. And this is it, the real war on men. The cucktrification of Western civilization. I didn't even mean for that to rhyme, but there it is. Men, start waking up. You have been cucktrified. It has been decades now where you've just been beaten back and your masculinity has been written off as some kind of disease or something that needs to be medicated. No more. Time to start waking up. Time to start being a man again. Time to start letting the testosterone flow. Time to start being a real man. Masculinity is demonized, criticized, and cut down to size by society today. And it's been this slow, steady decline for decades now. There has been, I'm going to put this in my show notes too. There's been studies showing that beta cuck males don't have any testosterone anymore. Oh my gosh, what was it? I think it was like either Now This or Vice or one of those cuck journalists where they did this thing where they measured the testosterone of the men that worked for their publication, and it was freaking low. Jeez, the freaking wheeze, guys. We don't eat meat anymore. There's no red meat flowing through our veins. We've been told this lie that meat is bad for us, that red meat is bad for us. You need the iron. You need the protein. You need the animal fat. Start eating meat, guys. In pop culture and media for the past decades, men have always been painted as freaking idiots or doofuses that's not capable of doing anything on their own without their woman holding their hands. And I can just cite dozens of examples, and I'm not even going to go there. You just turn on a freaking TV and you'll see it. Just these women head-pecking their men, and their men in the background, oh, yes, dear, oh, I'm so sorry. Or, oh, I'm a dumb man, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't add 2 and 2 together. It's ridiculous. And then the ladies complain. They complain, oh, there's no real man anymore. You helped do this. You said what you wanted, and we listened. And now here we are. And now you want real men again. And now you've got these frickin' young girls going after dads, basically, because there are some dads out there that still remember how to be men, and then those men are painted as some kind of pervy old guys when they got the young ones coming after them. And I'm just, for full disclosure here, my wife is way younger than I am, and she chased after me, and we are extremely happy, and I'm glad it went that way. That was just a side note. Anyway, here's some resources for you if you need some help in being a man. Artofmanliness.com. Look it up. This guy has workout programs, strong lifts, 5x5. I give them a free shout out too. Very good for building that testosterone. Start working out. Start working on that dad bod to make it not so much of a dad bod anymore. Diet tips where you get your testosterone flowing again. Like I said, start eating meat. What am I having right now? I'm having a Cuba Libre right now as we speak. So get some alcohol flowing through you. Disclaimer, don't do this if you're an alcoholic or if you have a problem with alcohol. Okay, back to the broadcast. There's studies out there that show that boys need to be boys, and the boys need to be boisterous, and boys need outside playtime, and they need time to just run around and act like crazy boys. And instead, what are we doing? We're medicating the boys. I'm looking at you females, and I'm looking at you female educators. Well, and I'm also looking at you beta cuck male teachers or parents that don't want to deal with raising boys. We are boisterous. We're just going to make some noise sometimes. Anyway, I went off topic there for a minute. Art of Manliness is a great resource for that. It'll teach you how to seal a deal with somebody, the way to do a good handshake, even like fashion tips on how to dress like a man, how to make eye contact, using the right words. I mean, I said resources, but that would just be your one resource if you don't have any clue. Artofmanliness.com. That's the way to go. Sorry, I went off the rails because I was thinking about how we're not raising our kids. Anyway, back into that. Raising boys isn't for the faint of heart, but it needs to be done because boys turn into men. And you know what happens if you don't raise your boys to become men? They become what we have now. These Starbucks sipping, beard that they didn't earn, lumberjack shirt wearing when they've never even swung an axe before, beta cuck males that want to talk about their fucking feelings instead of going out there and being men, producing for society. God, it makes me so freaking sick. Anyway, I love how all the studies that they're showing that, boys need this outside playtime is somehow like this new thing that nobody's heard of or that nobody's heard about. It's like people forgot how to raise boys. And boys need to learn critical thinking skills. They need to learn tough lessons. They need to fall out of that tree sometimes and get hurt. They need to have that kid punch them when they were being a fucking asshole. And that's another thing that needs to happen. You need a good punch sometimes. We've all needed a good punch sometimes. And you know where that happens usually, if it's done right, is on the playground. These kids, let kids solve their own problems. By the way, rewind that. I'm not talking about dads punching their kids, just so we're clear there. I do believe that kids need to be disciplined. Spanking is okay. Don't beat your kids. You're a bully asshole if you do that. Anyway, one of the worst mistakes that you women have made, yeah, I'm talking to you now, women, is emasculating your men. And you keep asking, oh, why isn't my man like this? Why isn't my man like that? This has been decades now of conditioning. Decades of us asking, well, we gotta do, what she wants. We gotta say the right thing and show our feelings and be tender. And now you have another woman, except she's got a penis that you're raising. Yeah, that's right, raising. Because they're fucking kids now. Okay, I'm going to lay off the men for a second. And ladies, if you're listening to this, I'm going to just tell you something very heartfelt. This has nothing to do with disrespecting you or not showing you the respect or love or care that you need, because that's also part of being a man, is taking care of his woman. And but I will tell you one thing, ladies. One of the worst mistakes that a woman can make is to emasculate her man. And please, women, we know you don't understand why we don't need to be emasculated. We know you don't get it. we know that you just think it's funny. Like we goof something up, we screw something up. You like to laugh at us, make fun of us. Just don't do that. At the same time, don't patronize either. We can tell when we're being patronized. Just know that when you emasculate us, you're going to get a negative response. And those negative responses can build and build and build over time, and they can turn into very unhealthy relationships. So anyway, now that I've come out of the gate and bashed you men to death, let's talk about some things. Men, the real war on men is fought on two fronts. Well, you have two fronts fighting against you. You've got women that think they want a certain kind of man, but they really don't, and that's helped shape you. And then you've got basically the same thing that's the root problem for everything that we have now. Liberalism. Yay! Marxism, socialism, social engineering, social justice, whatever you want to call it, just being browbeaten on us, all day long in our media and everything else. So as men, we are fighting this two-fronted battle, and guys, you just need to start getting it in line. Start learning some skills. Start working out. Start being active. Start taking control of your life. Start bettering yourselves. Start producing. Start learning some history. And make yourselves better men. Better men for this country. Better men for your women. And better men for our children to look up to. And if I think about my uncle, God rest his soul, who is no longer with us, this gravelly old electrician that was just freaking hardcore. Worked at Kennedy Space Center. Did a lot of work with like the space shuttle hangar and like freaking ran jobs there. Just this gravelly voice, old school dude. If he were alive today, just seeing the cuckery that's going on, I mean, I don't know what he would do. And he did what a lot of men from that era do. They led by example. They had integrity. They took care of their business. They didn't run their mouth. And it was a good example. And that's what we need again, guys. And that's what we need to start aspiring to become. Just good, solid men. And especially this country, we just need it. We need it again. We need for like a revival of masculinity to start happening. We have been cucked for too long, and I say no more cuckery. It's time to wake up. It is time for masculinity revival. Start taking control of your lives and start taking action and start being real men again. Men that your women would be proud of. Or if you're gay, men that your men would be proud of. Whatever. I'm no respecter of persons. Just make it happen, guys. So anyway, it's time to throw off those shackles of beta cuckery, men, and get out there and be real men. Start fighting this fight. Start fighting this war. And that's pretty much all I have to say today, so I'm going to cut the podcast short. You know why? Because we're men. We don't need a lot of words. We just need action. So get out there and make it happen, guys. I believe in you. You can fight this fight. You can fight this war. Claim that masculinity. Reclaim that testosterone. Let's do it, guys. Peace!
You've been listening to Publitarian Podcast. Copyright 2018.
as the Godfather Limbaugh himself would say, sitting beneath billowy clouds of cigar smoke. But I don't know if he does that anymore or not. I don't really see a whole lot of Limbaugh. Yeah, I probably won't smoke this cigar too long because, currently smoking it in my studio. And if my wife catches me, she will immediately castrate me. And there won't be any anesthetic. So, I'm doing a guy episode, but at the same time, I've got a brain. So maybe I'll cut to the next segment.